Hey everyone, welcome to this video about places to avoid as a tourist in New York. While New York is an incredible city with plenty of amazing things to see and do, there are also some areas that might not be the best places for tourists to visit. In this video, we'll be discussing 10 places to avoid in the city. First up are high crime neighborhoods. While crime rates in New York have been decreasing overall, there are still some neighborhoods that have higher crime rates than others. It's generally a good idea to avoid neighborhoods in the outer boroughs such as East New York in Brooklyn, Morris Heights and University Heights in the Bronx, and Stapleton on Staten Island. Next are industrial areas. Industrial areas of the city, such as the Navy Yard in Brooklyn or the Meatpacking District in Manhattan, may not be the most pleasant places for tourists to visit. Sketchy neighborhoods are also places that tourists might want to avoid. Some neighborhoods in New York have a reputation for being a bit sketchy, such as Bushwick in Brooklyn or Mott Haven in the Bronx. Abandoned or run-down buildings can be found in certain parts of the city, such as certain neighborhoods in the South Bronx. These areas may not be the most visually appealing or safest places to visit. Areas with high levels of pollution might not be the most desirable places for tourists to visit. Some neighborhoods in New York, such as the Port Morris neighborhood in the Bronx, have higher levels of air pollution. Heavy traffic can also be an issue in certain parts of the city. Parts of Manhattan, such as Times Square and the Financial District, can be very congested with traffic, which can be frustrating for tourists trying to get around. Areas with a lot of panhandlers might not be the most pleasant places for tourists to visit. Some areas of the city, such as the Times Square and Union Square subway stations, may have a higher concentration of panhandlers. High-priced tourist areas can be a bit of a drain on your wallet. Times Square and other popular tourist destinations, such as the World Trade Center, may have higher prices for souvenirs and food. Noisy neighborhoods can be overwhelming for some tourists. Parts of Manhattan, such as the Lower East Side and Chinatown, can be quite loud, especially at night. Finally, overcrowded areas can be overwhelming for some tourists. Tourist attractions such as Central Park and the Metropolitan Museum of Art can get very crowded, especially during peak tourist season. So there you have it, 10 places to avoid as a tourist in New York. While these places may not necessarily be dangerous, they may not be the most pleasant places to visit. Thanks for watching. And always remember, you decide which path to take.